Welcome back to Season 2 Quick Chat in the Cadillac. My name is SG. I like to explore the simplicity of complexity. If you don't know, this is my show where I break it down for you both real and quick. It's Season 2, baby. That means that all of my previous episodes are uploaded. They're on TikTok and YouTube. But on YouTube, they're all organized and listed out correctly. So do me a favor, head over to SG space Bubba space K and watch them videos. It'll get your life right. Today's topic is about reflection. All right, we're going to talk today about encountering your mirror, what that means for you, and how to handle it properly. Now, for those who don't know, I'm not talking about a literal mirror where you look at yourself and say, oh shit, I look so fly right now, even though I probably should do that when you wake up in the morning because you are a beautiful human being. What I'm talking about when I say encountering your mirror is entering a phase in your life in which you are forced to see who you truly are so that you can either choose to advance or regress. And for most, if not all of us, the way that this usually presents itself is by seeing a mirror, someone who is our reflection. Now, when you look at a mirror, it's not exactly who you are perfectly correctly duplicated, right? It's backwards a little bit. It's a little bit different. I move my right hand. You see your left hand in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So the mirror looks almost exactly like you, but it's opposite. And that's what you'll encounter when you actually meet your mirror in real life. You'll find someone who is very, extremely, strikingly similar to you, but also at the same time the opposite of you. And this connection, it provides both of you with an opportunity to advance yourselves or go back to the past. It's a very beautiful encounter no matter what happens because it'll teach you a lot. Most importantly, it'll teach you about yourself. Things that you did or did not know or just refused to accept will rise to the surface because you can see it in real time. That connection, whether it's between you and a friend, you and a family member, you and a coworker, you and a lover, that connection is going to show you all the pieces and parts of yourself. And typically, most of them that you will recognize are the ones that you're not as comfortable with as the others. Or at least the ones that will stand out will be the ones that you're not so comfortable with. But that brings us to a sort of crossroads, right? When you see this mirror, you see this person who is your reflection, and now you're looking in the mirror, you're like, ooh, yo, I got a pimple right here. The fade is a little lopsided, shit like that. My fade looks good. Shout out to the barber. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you'll start noticing things about yourself in the mirror, and then you either are going to get you're definitely going to get triggered by it, but now you have to respond. You have to process. Do you elevate? Do you take a step forwards to see these things that you feel need to be corrected and actually correct them? Or do you just stand 10 toes down in your bullshit? And the crazy part about meeting your mirror, because this energy is so similar to you yet so different, your reaction and their reaction will mirror each other as well. You'll see the person in front of you, you'll see this energy in front of you and how you're handling the situation look exactly like how they're handling the situation. It's very frustrating sometimes because you feel that you're right? You get a lot of the things that you are doing incorrectly or that you could improve upon will bring themselves up to the surface. And when you're sitting there confronting those things head on, a lot of times as a human, your inclination is to say, well, I'm right, they're wrong, and how I feel is valid and how they feel is not valid. And that's where the triggering happens. And the craziest part about it is it always comes right before transformation. Think about it like this. Like, you got a night where you're like planning to go out. You've been planning for months and months, and you're like, I'm so excited for this event I'm about to go to, but I got to get ready. And so you go and look in the mirror and you notice all this shit that's going crazy. And now you got two options. You could either do yourself up, fix your hair, line up your shit, throw on some pimple patches and let them chill for an hour or whatever the case, do the work, brush your teeth all nice and clean. Or you can say, fuck it, I'm not going out. Because if it was truly meant for me, I would just look good, just perfect today, no matter what. Okay, and then you miss out on the opportunity, right? So for you to approach these things, you have to open your perspective. When you see your mirror, right, because your reflection's not going to go anywhere that you don't go. So when you see your mirror, it's got to be a conscious choice, a conscious decision. And sometimes, the speed of light is the fastest thing in the world, but there's still a delay. So when you move here, you're actually moving a little bit quicker than the mirror could capture, right? So when you make that decision, you got to make it for you. When you're saying, I want to choose to progress from this interaction, from this encounter with my mirror, that decision needs to be made by you. And if they're truly your reflection, if they're truly your mirror, then they will also make that same decision because they see that the reflection is doing it, or they themselves make that decision because they are truly the reflection of you. And that's where you get the idea of like twin flames, divine counterparts, soulmates. All those kind of things come from you being presented with your reflection. Essentially, something out there in the universe, whether you believe in God or science or magic or the flying spaghetti monster, something out there in the universe says, okay, before you go to the next level, I'm going to need you to stop and look at yourself. And instead of looking at yourself objectively, which whatever's out there knows is prone to bias, and that you cut yourself a break, or maybe you're just too hard on yourself, whatever the case. So you know, whatever's out there knows you're gonna fuck it up. So they bring another person in, and that other person is your reflection. That other energy is your reflection. It might be multiple energies from time to time, and at that point in time, you are faced with yourself in the form of another individual. You're faced with your own energy in the form of another individual, and how you treat that energy is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. So my advice to you would be to stop, take a moment, and process properly. Look at the things that are triggering you from this energy. Look at the things that are triggering you from your perspective about your own energy, and you'll realize, oh shit, I maybe actually do need to work on this. And then you can start working on those things. If you ever encounter a mirror or someone who it looks like they might be your mirror, and you start making progress and they don't, that person is not your mirror. That person is not reflective of you. But for a moment, that illusion that they gave, the mirage that they were your reflection, was enough for you to see the things in yourself that needed to change so you could move forward and get to your real mirror. Once you've prepped yourself and you look all good and shiny and clean and ready to go, you dealt with your reflection, you saw the things that your whole reflection, you saw it for all that it is, your energy, your presence, and everything, and you decided to accept it and make progress, accept it and move forward. That's when you'll be elevated to the next stage. Because you're ready now. Like in that example, you decided to brush your teeth, get your hair ready, you're all combed, you're looking fly. Now you can go out to the event. Now you can go enjoy yourself. Now you can go experience what was meant for you to experience. Okay, and that's the beauty of seeing and meeting your reflection. And outside of that, if you meet your reflection in truest form, you meet someone who is a direct reflection of your energy, and you are a direct reflection of their energy, and y'all both make the decision to head towards progress. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You may never encounter that person again. You may spend the rest of your life in that person's company, but that's beautiful. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's something where, you encountered your reflection in the form of another energy, another body, another lifetime. They encountered you as that same experience. You're a reflection of their energy. They're in another body, in another lifetime. And y'all both made the decision to progress. You both elevated. That's something that you will always share. That's something that you could always relate based upon. And eventually, you may interact in ways where you elevate your relationships continuously with these mirrors. So when you're approached with someone and you feel like, oh man, this person's very similar to me, but also extremely different, then you need to understand what's going on. You got to see the mirror for what it is. And don't get mad at the mirror. Don't try to break the mirror. That's 7 years bad luck, as they say. I'm not casting no spells. I'm using that term figuratively, or that superstition figuratively. But the truth is, if you don't confront your mirror and then handle it appropriately, you'll go backwards. You'll make regression, not progression. And I don't know about you, but going backwards seems like bad luck to me. Shit, it ain't nothing for you but in the backwards, because you already been there. You went forwards, and now you're trying to go backwards away from what you're supposed to do, away from what you're supposed to accomplish. Fuck no. Look in the mirror, see these individuals who reflect you, and understand it's calling you to elevate. This is the final makeup call. I don't know what they call it in show business, but this is touch-ups. It's time for you to do some touch-ups and get your shit right so you could go out on stage and be the star that you was born to be. And right before you do that, God, magic, the flying spaghetti monster, or fucking Elon Musk, whatever you want to believe in, you fucking dupes. Don't believe in Elon Musk, but you see what I'm saying? They need you to be ready. All right, that's all I got to say. Peace.